Joe Budden has an awkward conversation with his co-host.
Cause if I'm next to you, so you saying prospects, you know me.
I got the bread and broke bread.
Initially, yes.
Yes, that was it.
No.
That was all it was going to be. That was just so we can get some participation.
Wait, so when you do the prospects and everybody just sit here with a blank stare face, we right?
Like, I got to go back and read the contract again.
I can always tell when it's going from jokes to serious.
That's right. On the recent episode of the Joe Budden podcast, it appeared as if the lines were blurred between content over everything and how the money should be split. Yeah, that's right. Flip called out Joe Budden for the way he's handling his Prize Picks deal. For those of you that don't know, Prize Picks is a recent ad that Joe Budden has been doing on his network. Prize Picks seems to be some type of gambling app that I think is trying to market to a certain community. If you look at all of the channels, YouTube channels it has been on, come on, do the science. We all know what Prize Picks is trying to do. And I don't know, you guys, I came away thinking that Flip is not only pocket watching, so are the other members of the cast. I do think that this is real, folks, because Joe Budden is essentially flaunting in their face that what I choose to do with this ad is my business. And I want all of you to let me know in the comments. Should Joe Budden be busting down the ads? If you don't remember, they did an ad about a year ago where they did basically a game show and Joe Budden was mentioning the movie. I think the movie was The Blackening. Remember, it was like a spoof of horror movies. And you could tell it was an ad because Joe Budden was talking about the movie as if he enjoyed it.
I saw a movie. I got sent an early screening of a movie called The Blackening, which is a comedy. I don't often watch comedies, but this movie comes out June 16th.
And it was clearly one of those movies that Joe Budden would never watch unless he was getting paid money for it. But in that episode, Joe Budden alludes to busting down the ad money. And now he's kind of joking about not busting down the ad money. And it's funny to see everybody respond to it and kind of think about what Joe Budden might be doing with the money. Now, once again, I'm telling you, I'm being clear to you for people who say I'm reaching. This could be COE. I'm not saying it's factual that there's actual tension, but it's just coming too much. It's just coming up too much as a joke. I do think Flip is pocket watching, and in this back and forth later on Patreon, Ish makes an allusion to signing a contract that gives Joe Budden access to his likeness when it comes to putting him on merch. And don't forget that Ish launched his merch, remember his $150 merch, and Joe Budden launched his merch right after that cost about 33 to 50% less than Ish's merch. You don't find that odd? You don't find that interesting? I don't know, you guys. I used to think maybe Joe gets a percentage of that merch that Ish creates because he is the one that led to more visibility for Ish. Ish could not sell any type of merch unless he was on the Joe Budden podcast. Should Joe Budden not be allowed to participate in the profits for the increased visibility of Ish? Nonetheless, Joe created new merch of his own. I think the merch looks bad. I was expecting a lot more. But hey, it's merch nonetheless. I don't understand the 700 Club shirt. Who the hell would wear a 700 Club shirt? Like, who would want to be celebrating Pod's 700th episode? Like, it didn't even have any cool branding. Why can't Joe Budden figure out merch? What the hell is going on over there? Rory and Mal's merch is way better. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But let me know what you think. Do you feel like this Flip pocket watching the ads is content over everything? Or do you genuinely believe that there is real issues going on there? Another thing Flip said was that You know, he pocket watches, but everybody pocket watches. He's just upfront about it. I got to agree with Flip there. I truly believe everybody on the show is pocket watching. That's Imani. That's Ish. Definitely Ish. Ish is the biggest pocket watcher. He's by far ahead of Flip. I think that dude be going home every night and he has an Excel sheet. Well, let me not say an Excel sheet. A Google sheet. And he just plugs in what he thinks Joe Budden's making. All right, so he's wearing this shirt. Okay, he just bought this mic. Oh, and he's doing improv. I'm sure he's making something off of that. I think he plugs it in and he starts to assess. This guy's always talking about how much Joe makes. So if I were Joe, I would be watching him. And we all know Ish is going to try to bust Joe over the head when that next contract comes up. And I'm curious to see when that next contract comes up. I do know that the Hakuna Matata episode aired December 10th, 2022. And from what you see in the industry, usually 2-year deals is common practice. So that means that Ish's contract might be coming up at the end of 2024. So everybody stay tuned because I will be watching. Alright, y'all, that's my video for today. Let me know what you think about this awkward conversation on episode 708 of the Joe Budden podcast. Also, let me know what you think about Joe Budden dropping his merch shortly after Ish dropped his merch, and the discrepancy in price, which could undercut Ish's sales. Very crazy if you ask me. Alright, follow me on Twitter, The Stop TV. Follow me on Instagram, The Stop TV. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.